Yeah, what's going on, guys? Yeah, long story short, where I guess this video is about protecting your dogs or your dog or whatever, right? So, a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Stockton, South Side to be exact. The worst place for the worst in Stockton. That Stockton has to offer, but I wouldn't change it for the world. It's made me who I am, or whatever. But I grew up around pit bulls, mainly pit bulls. Rottweiler, pit bulls. I started feeding pit bulls, red nose, American pit bulls to be exact, at a young age because my cousin had one. I started feeding them every day when I get off of school, and then spend all weekends with them. At a young age, like around 7 or 8 years old, I was really exposed to aggressive red nosed pit bulls that's bred for whatever reasons. Yeah, I'm not going to get into details. It's decades ago, but Rottweilers, I was introduced to the breed like when I was like around maybe 10 or 11. That's the first time I seen a Rottweiler, and this was in the early '90s. I'm an '80s baby, so I'm like, dude, these fuckers are like funny looking. Like they got big ears and they don't have a tail, and they have these little goofy thingies on their eyes, and it was a trip, and long story short, in the South Side, the ghetto, the projects that I grew up in, like I mean, it's just like this house is just built right across from it. It's like this real old white dude. I'm assuming he's like a retired mailman because he has like this mailman card, and he has this big fucking Rottweiler. So we've all just seen the puppies, and I've seen them. Like I guess that's when I really got exposed to them. I'm like, like I guess they're not too quick to befriend a stranger, let alone a child. It doesn't matter. Like I guess my personal experience, and I still have Rottweilers, so I'm only speaking upon my experience. I'm not, behaviorist, a psychologist, or dog expert, or some bullshit like that. Yeah. I mean, I just tell it how I see it, and tell it from my experience, from a streetwise experience. Just tread carefully when you're approaching a pit bull or a Rottweiler because they're not your typical golden retrievers that's gonna just let a kid run up and pet. It just don't work that way. So don't be fooled by these YouTube videos about, oh yeah, like they are good dogs if I mean it's your dogs and you raise them around your people where they know who's coming in, who's coming out. But protecting your dog, that's what I'm trying to get at. So I don't take my dogs to dog park, one, because it's too fucking dirty, as in like where the naked eyes can't see. Like who knows what kind of bugs, disease, infestation, whatever kind of bullshit's out there, exposing dogs and shit like that, and get them sick or something, catching parvo, portobello, or bordetella, and all that bullshit. If your dog can be fully vaccinated, which every dog owner should do to the dogs, even though it's expensive. Like it's like we're obligated as pet parents, right? But some people, believe it or not, they don't. So I'll take, and but I mean, I do take my dogs to the vet constantly for checkups, at least every 3 months or so, and it does run about $200-300, so it does get expensive real quick, But long story short, I guess I still take them out of plug parts, but I feel like it's a lot more cleaner, safer than a dog park that's just I mean, you don't know how many fucking mutts or how many dogs been ran through that motherfucker, and but the downfall when you take your dogs out to a public park or to a walk, especially if you go up, like, especially if you live in a more ghetto neighborhood, you'll have people's dogs that's, just not socialized at all, just run up the fence and barking, trying to put up a show. And I'm walking around with, two big ass Rottweilers and a male. He's just like, try me, motherfucker, and then, like, how when Rottweiler tense up, then their neck gets big, and he sizes him up to him, like, leave it, let's go. And the dog knows, like, I mean, dogs just knows what they're capable of doing, so, and, I guess a lot of it has to do with respect for the owners, too. Or sometimes we'll have, like, like stray dogs, mutts, or even pit bulls that will try to size up me and my dogs and come up too close. And will a dog protect you? It's like I guess I can't say all dogs will protect their owners. A lot of it has to do with how you carry yourself around the dogs and how you treat them. So a lot of it has to do, like, for me, I mean, I feel like with my relationship with my dogs, it's all about respect. It's not about love. Respect is the number one thing for me. So it's like if I ask you to do something or give you a command, I expect you to do it. You know what I mean? So maybe some people might feel like, oh, it's a little too tough, but it's you got to still think that every time you take your dogs out anywhere, it's a liability. Believe it or not, because a dog, regardless of however high the level of respect is, it's still a dog, and they have a mind of their own. So it's one day they might just wake up on the wrong side of the bed or something and decide, what, I'm pissed off, and I'm in a bad mood, and I'm just waiting for one of these motherfuckers to try me so I can fuck them up. And that's just the truth, dog. So you have to keep, take into consideration that, every time you take your dogs out, it's a liability. Your dogs, your dogs attack someone, attack another dog, or worst case scenario, the most common problems that I have is every time when I do take them out, unfortunately, once in a blue moon, we'll have like 3, 4, or even fucking like 5 stray dogs, and these fucking runs and pack, and those sizes up, and their tails roll up, and then I guess my dogs probably sense some way that, all right, Chino's in the like Chino's not sure what he wants to do. So now the dog feels like, I guess it's their job to protect me, but I'm like, whoa, back off. Like, it's 3 or 5 of these motherfuckers. Don't fuck us up. And it's 2 of you guys, but or 2 of you guys and me. But I'm like, you know what? It's like me personally. I feel like as a responsible owner, you do what you have to protect your dogs. At all costs, especially when, like, pretty much especially you and your dogs are playing the defensive side now, where you guys can get attacked. That's why I always try to carry a knife. Or every time I go out, I'll carry a knife or something, or at least at the bare minimum a fucking razor blade. Like a box cutter from Harbor Freight. Stupid sharp one with a sharp blade though, because it comes down to it. It's better off, you know, their dogs and your dogs, right? And I've been, just I guess that's why I've been doing, like a lot of the bite works with the sleeves and stuff like that too, to mentally prepare myself for situations like that where if it does really happen or something, I have to protect my dogs at all costs. And that doesn't mean, or it doesn't matter if it means I get fucked up and get bit or whatever. Where it's some irresponsible owners, dogs decide to fucking run up and attack me, my dog. Like you got to ask yourself that $1 million question: at this point, what do you do? Do you just try to scream for them to stop? Because once the dog's mind is in that attack mode, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like humans. When we make up our mind that we're gonna fuck this motherfucker up, it doesn't matter if it's your girlfriend, your wife, God himself, your parents, your, elders, your OGs, or whatever, and tries to talk you out of it. It's just kind of like, you know what, this motherfucker wants something, I'm gonna give it to him. And then we talk later. Well, it's gonna be consequences, but I'll deal with that shit later. A dog's mind is probably pretty much gonna be similar to that too. And that's just what, I think of it. So if someone's dog comes and tries to attack me or my dogs, believe it or not, I'm like, you guys might say, oh, that's fucked up, or I'm a fucked up human being, or whatever. Hey, far away, but I do what I got to do to protect my dogs, and I don't give a fuck if I kill someone else's dog. Like, I mean, you should have had your shit under control, because I'm not gonna have my dog all fucking stitched up or all fucked up, and then and deal with all these fucking medical bills from the vet, and all I get is, hey man, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. No, that's not good enough, dude. So I'd rather be the one that's gonna get bit than my dog that's gonna get bit. I mean, you see what I'm coming from, all right? So if I gotta stab your fucking dog with these fucking mutts, to protect my dog, that's what I'm going to do at all costs, at all means necessary. And I guess it's not what a lot of people want to hear, but I mean, that's the ugly truth to it. So it's just something to consider and think about, and like try to mentally prepare yourself for it. Because and don't say it can't happen to you. I mean, it will, just a matter of time. And like, yeah, I mean, it can, and it will happen to you. In case you guys wonder why I keep looking, I'm just waiting for the receiver to give me the okay to start unloading my trailer out of my tanker. That's why I keep looking. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind that if you take your dogs out, keep in mind it's a liability, and be prepared to protect your dogs at all costs. Just look at it as, would you let someone kidnap your child, or run up and beat up your child, or let a dog come and attack your child? You wouldn't, right? So like, I guess it's the same thing with your dog. Don't look at a dog like, oh, it's a dog, it's not a kid. Some people, maybe for some people like us, a dog's all we have. And we gonna do whatever like we do what we got to do. Some people say, oh, we'll take it in a legal way, call it cops or animal pound. Yeah, you can do all that stuff too when it's when the storms calm down. But the consequences, of the aftermath, you get all fucked up and your dog's all big because you wouldn't let your dogs go after that motherfucker too, or I guess you fail to protect yourself and your dog. Then it's just like, god damn, you done fucked up. And especially for like the people that has a family dog or something, like, I mean, the last thing you want to do is explain to your kids what happened to the dog, or how come the dog ain't coming back home. You don't want to do that bullshit. But and don't be those fucking asshole irresponsible owners too. If your dog fucks up with something, discipline his ass or her ass or something. Put your foot up their ass or something. I guarantee you, the next time they go do none of that, dumb shit no more. Even if they do, keep correcting them. Like, but don't take my word for it. Just if this advice helps, run with it. If it sounds like shit, like if it sounds like a crock of bullshit, then hey, just take it for what it is. But yeah, it's trippy as hell. And check out my other videos. It's a lot of bullshit involved in my other videos, and I mean, it's half-assed entertaining, or it's a lot of bullshit. But just check it out.